Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Tuesday Night Lights. After a banger of a first series, let's see if JMU versus UNCC keeps up that level of entertainment or gets us back on schedule. I'm bringing in the big guns for this one. It's the biggest match of the night, and Taquito, I gotta know, which way you leaning with JMU and UNCC here?
Man, just because it's on paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Paper would tell you that this is so heavily favored to JMU simply because of Pigeon. Don't want to shade the other two players, Gad and Ability, but Pigeon carries a lot of weight as a player. Been in a lot of higher ranked lobbies, has punched up to the competition in RLCS, but I was with you pretty much all last year with College Rocket League, and this is what UNCC has done.
Yep.
Specifically on LAN, on your stream, and other places. So I would not be surprised to see UNCC take a couple games.
I think Pigeon joining JMU is a huge upgrade, and I think it catapults JMU into the conversation of potentially the top 30 Collegiate Rocket League teams in North America. But UNCC has been in that conversation since the start of the fall semester. This is an all-around solid roster, and I mean, Pigeon, Ability, and Gadira have played together a decent bit, but I want to see just how well this new look trio works together. But for those that don't know, this is the second show match of the night. First one went to Game 7. It was insane, and this doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does when a team drops out late. The winner of UNCC JMU here will play South Carolina in the next series. So whoever does come out victorious has some extra Rocket League to play on Tuesday Night Lights, and so far it's fairly even with JMU playing a whole lot of offense.
They are playing a lot of offense. They're trying to crack through at the moment, but also I would like to say this for everybody in chat telling me about Gad being good. Gad is like one of the best defenders I have ever seen play this game, and I have said that multiple times on multiple streams. But right now, UNCC could care less about the skill level of the team they're playing up against. 2-0 within the first minute and 10 seconds of this match. The Niners are looking to chip away.
And that's easy. I mean, they played a ton of defense. That was the hard part for UNCC. But in transition, that was a completely open net. And perhaps maybe that's some of the cohesion, but again, exposed net right there. I don't know how much UNCC knew about it, as they couldn't send the ball immediately on target, but look, the Niners are playing so speedily at the moment. JMU have found an opening here with Gad and Pigeon moving up, but that touch does not help JMU keep up the pace.
Nah, and you could see the setup, though. You saw exactly what Ability was looking for, trying to find Gad right there in the mid. They're going to have to play back a little bit on their back line. Nothing that they aren't used to so far. Good cut in the mid. Unfortunately, Pigeon is going to get beat out by Knight, and I believe another player could not catch the name too quickly. Lazy up into the corner, maybe looking for Bala. Ability is going to try to get it away. No boost, though, so it might be tough. Employs the help of Gad. Gets it to the mid. They are able to punch it through, but this offense has got to start hitting the gas pedal right now, MrBepic. They got to put something in the net.
They've been doing well in the possession game, but I agree with you. They need to convert on something soon. And it is only the first half of Game 1 here. And these are long series. This is why I love the best-of-7 format for show matches, because it allows you time to settle in. It gives you some wiggle room to finally get your new star some room to work, and that is easy pickings for Pigeon.
It's one of those things I mentioned recently on a stream with Somber. A lot of these players at a higher level, when you leave the backboard open, it truly, in my opinion, doesn't matter how open it is, as the net is just as open as the backboard was for that previous goal. But they will be able to find the most minute space to get that double off of and nail it home.
And speaking of fine margins, right there on kickoff, UNCC find themselves an immediate answer to that first JMU goal of this show match. And Ball's got a secondary opportunity, but goes high. That's where Gad wanted him to go, up that back wall. He was ready for it. And UNCC have been struggling to set themselves up with extended offense this game. I think it's the only part of their game I can critique so far, but that hasn't really mattered. They've scored quick in transition on a couple of chances, and that's all they need for a 2-goal lead, though I can certainly critique that. That's a bad double commit, but Knight recovers the play with a massive save.
Big time save and an unfortunate opportunity gone by the wayside for Pigeon right there. That angle a little bit too sharp. Good possession on this play. And two link up Balla to confuse the defense to slam that one home. Man, the Niners, I'm surprised they continue to look this good after the extended break over the Christmas holiday.
I would be too, but there's an update about this UNCC program. Before, it was a club program that was funded by the school, and I'm not sure if they had scholarships, but they certainly were supported. But in the break, they've transitioned to an official varsity program. And while they're not officially representing that varsity program tonight, because they're not in season just yet, these three will be the varsity team for UNC Charlotte. And that's extremely exciting, seeing schools introduce that as we develop collegiate esports. And maybe with that kind of momentum external to the game, it's kept these boys motivated. But they look the part of a solid varsity team.
You see, this has me looking forward to SEL.
Oh, yeah.
In the coming spring, because not only do I get a little TNL tonight on the MrBepic stream, I'll get to watch you guys commentate this team several more times over this next school semester. So I am excited to see more of this. Now, what we would also like to see is the Dukes put something together as I'm trying to speak it into existence. And Pigeon, here's my call. Cuts the lead to 55 seconds left on the clock. MrBepic, can they close that gap?
Look, if they get space and time to develop a play like that again, absolutely. This is a talented team, but I don't think JMU have been able to keep up with the pace of Game 1, at least not at the start. But right there, when Gad has time to develop a chance with a teammate in transition with him, absolutely. And well, I may have spoken too soon, as Gad has another goal, but UNCC kind of gave that one for free.
The replay, oh my gosh, with Pigeon and Knight. Is that a rule 1? We're gonna call that a rule 1?
I would call that more of a box out if we're putting it in basketball terms. Rule 1 of sorts for sure. And that's just in.
Okay, if that isn't the definition of parody, my friend, then I don't know what is.
Wow. How many is that for Gad now, this game? He has been on fire.
I believe that's 2. Yeah, 2 back-to-back.
And he had the assist on that big third or second goal to really get JMU back in this thing. And okay, just like that, we are tied up in Game 1. JMU find a huge burst of speed. And now UNCC need another one of those good looks, those quick hits that they were putting on target earlier. As at the moment, actually, they might have found one. Balla tries to dunk Gad, but he's privy to his antics, and we'll stay tied for now.
And tied with just 20 seconds left, rolling into the final few moments of this game. Good possession out of the corner, a touch there. Lazy, that was an excellent demo on Gad in the mid for the follow-up. The awareness right there, knowing that the third member's coming in to shoot. Good possession as well, trying to force the overtime, but gave the ball away to Pigeon. Got Gad shooting low, but the defense on the Niners is just rock solid OT.
They've relied on this game. A lot of defense played for UNC Charlotte, but has gotten them this far alongside a solid counterattack game, which they will hopefully not have to rely on for their sake here, because JMU have started executing offensively at an extremely high level. But in transition, chance for the Niners. Balla goes high with this one. Gad and Ability are both up for it, but it's Gad that finds a strong touch, and this is what the Niners need. It's extended stays in the blue end of the field.
Oh, that's exactly what they want. But that handover possession right there, Knight is going to be pushing downfield. Pigeon up there as well to cause some disruption, but Balla quick to get the pinch away. Gad, low boost total here at the back line, gets bumped, and that is going to be the dagger. As unfortunate as it is, I knew the low boost amount was going to be just the nail in the coffin. That bump didn't help as well.
I mean, look, UNCC, great win, solid job securing Game 1. Shouldn't have been close like that, but regardless, that last play, Taquito, did you see how Gad got bumped away from the near side, and then his rotating teammate bumped him back into the ball, and he almost made that save? Yes. I don't like talking about what would have beens typically, but that would have been the most insane save I had ever seen. But they didn't make it. UNCC take Game 1.
Talk about using every tool at your disposal on the side of JMU. They really tried to keep that ball out. And hey, I'm not saying you should do it, but maybe guys employ some tactics like throwing your teammate into the ball if you cannot get the ball yourself. Maybe you should use your teammate as a projectile. It could help. I don't know.
If there's going to be a guy to reinvent the meta at some point, I'd expect a team that Pigeon's on to do it. He was one series win away from the RLCS this past weekend, so that's how good this kid is. And young as well. He has got years to develop with his collegiate roster, with his RLCS roster. He's a highly touted prospect in both collegiate and the RLCS. But this team finds themselves down a game here, thanks to UNCC kind of just surviving that last game. And here again, it's the same story. Goals out of thin air. 1-0 Niners.
I appreciate ability in the mid. You could tell that he was ready to turn and set up for a team play. You got to expect UNCC to do the same thing they did in the opening of Game 1. You cannot give them too much space to work with, and with Knight dunking on that attack, that is exactly what UNCC needed. But hey, they don't call it a counter for no reason. The game's all knotted up, my friend.
That was speedy, too. I mean, Gad finds Pigeon across the field in no time, and Knight was not ready for that. He's the third man. He wasn't too far out of position, but that was an immediate shot developed from a defensive posture as well. JMU were extremely quick to realize that situation, and that kind of explosiveness out of the defensive end can be dangerous. If you're not prepared for it, it can cost you series, and it's at least cost UNCC their lead, but they will get it right back with an open net. Bala walks the ball into an open net, and it's 2-0.
Bala almost walked it into the post. What do you mean?
He knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I'm just playing keep away. Don't worry. I'm going to make it look crazy. 2 goals to the side of UNCC as we continue to move through this second game. And you were right, man. This has got to be the match of the night. But again, like I came in and said to you before we started this series, that first match, Alabama came to play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Alabama looked very rusty at the start of their they're coming out for the spring 2025 season, but they figured it out, and UTK did too. I mean, high levels of mechanical ability on Tuesday Night Lights tonight across all 4 show matches. This is a stacked slate, and Ability was trying to show us some more, but Pigeon has that ball over his head. Gad the same, and Pigeon is third man. Has a lot of work to do now, and he's just descending. This is so awkward, and Bala's allowed a second for himself and a third for his team.
That bump. Oh, Pigeon had to get out of the way too. Ability probably called him off, saying that I got the block, don't worry. But I don't know if anybody expected Bala to just... It was calculated fake? I don't know. I didn't expect Bala to flip right there and miss the shot. Almost gets a pre-flip there and gets another goal. These guys are racking up goals like they're lottery tickets.
And possession as well. UNC, that's what they struggled with in Game 1, was keeping the ball on the JMU end, and now it hasn't left the blue end of the field in quite some time. It could use a vacation, I'm sure, but it'll have to come off kickoff, I suppose. UNCC are aiming for a fourth, and Pigeon's so awkward right there. Has to come with just a slight dink out of the near side. UNCC looking more mechanical than JMU at the moment, but the Dukes are surviving on their goal line, living to fight another day.
This could be a good play from Pigeon, but the possession lost over to the corner. Ability looking for a touch. Gad is going to have to play third for a little bit. Knight is in a 1v1 position, but just unfortunately couldn't keep a hand on the ball. Hands it on over one more time. Lazy doing a lot of work to keep it in that corner. 2 go. The double commit doesn't get a touch, and they have to play defense one more time on the side of Dukes.
That's a helpful touch, though. The incidental extra touch on the ball that UNCC got in the corner bought time for the rest of JMU to rotate back, but they have been stuck on their defensive side for so much of this game. That's a good out, though. There's no boost on the UNCC side, but Bala uses the, I think, 6 droplets in his tank to help that counterattack fall flat. And with 2 minutes to go here, the Niners keep their lead, but it has just been taken... Oh, no, Pigeon missed. Okay, never mind.
There it is.
Pigeon missed. Gad scores. That's all you need to know.
I was waiting for it. I was like, hang on, there's a second player. Just wait. And there's Gad over in the corner, like the magician showing you the hand while doing the trick behind your back. Gad comes up to clean up. Goal number 2. They're down by 1. 1:52 on the clock here. And it kind of feels like JMU is having to do a lot more work for the goals that they have been getting compared to UNCC.
Yeah, I mean, it was an open net to start things off. That was another open net, actually. They're seizing opportunities in transition when UNCC are caught out. Defensively, JMU is having to do so much work to develop those counterattacks, and it's a very different game for both teams, really. It feels like the nameplates have swapped sides this game, at least in the possession side of things, but Pigeon is still Pigeon, and Bala finds a great block to make sure he stays out of the net for now.
Good boost collect as well. Pigeon with a shot on target. Knight is going to have to play awkward from behind. Ability out of the corner as well. Gag gets the bump. Somebody circle in. Pigeon. There's the 50. Are you serious? Yet again, MrBepic, they do it a second game in a row. They've been down the entire time, and it's like it never even mattered.
Pigeon 50'd that with the underside of his car on the goal line. That doesn't go in if you're just taking a 50-50 as a normal Rocket League player, but because that was Pigeon doing that, that's an unbelievable equalizer out of JMU. And shout out Mr. Pyro J for the raid, dude, much appreciated. Welcome all of you in. If this is your first time on a Pyro J to Bepic raid, welcome to Tuesday Night Lights. This is my Collegiate Showmatch series. We're playing best of sevens all night long between top collegiate rosters, and here, 2 of the best, definitely top 45 this season, maybe top 30 at times during the spring, but that's certainly a couple of good players. Pigeon and Gad take the lead for JMU.
Working together right there. I saw Gad jump from pretty much the mid-line, was absolutely sniping out that opportunity, and all Pigeon had to do was carry it right on over and say, here you go, teammate, finish the job. 4-3, 23 seconds left. I'm not counting out the Niners. I refuse. If there's 2 seconds on the clock, they're gonna figure something out. They did it the first game. They're gonna do it this game. But you gotta have players on the pitch if you want to defend. Pigeon, you menace.
It's just an open net. Gad's the menace. He took out 2 orange guards.
Okay, it was Gad. You're right. My fault. It was Pigeon.
Hey, Pigeon is a menace. But Gad right there was the bully on Sovereign Heights. 2 demos to clear a lane. And UNCC, again, they have a commanding lead. They have a commanding position in a game against JMU. And somehow it gets close. And this time around, JMU finds a way to win.
I got so locked into the fact that somebody was shooting, I just thought somebody else was demoing. And of course, it would be Gad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Leave it to Gad to play not only the back side of the game, the front side of the game. He can even shoot, too. I mean, look at him. He's across the board. 2-2-2-1. This player is all over the pitch, and ability is just sitting in the back like, all right, guys, fine. Play the game. I'll just hold down the back line.
And he shot 200% that game as well. Just 1 shot registered, but 2 goals. So you can thank Rocket League for that oddity. But Pigeon with a hat trick on 8 shots was the supplier of 8 of 9 opportunities for JMU, at least the ones on targets. I mean, he is a real menace on the field. UNCC, I don't know what they have to do. I mean, that game was fully in their control until JMU had a stretch of about 90 seconds where they took complete control and then flipped the game on its head.
Again, I think it's both of these teams as the caliber of teams that they are, as their ability to take control when they need to. And we also talk about possession. That's one thing that both of these squads have been excelling at extremely in this match, but that is, okay, example A.
He goes up for it, goes low on the challenge, and then flips at ground level back into the ball. That's something you see a freestyler post in a bronze 1v1 game and you call it impressive. Pigeon just styled on one of the best CRL squads this season in a 1v3.
Yeah. like I said, we talk about possession. That was about the best display of possession I could have possibly asked for. And of course, it comes from Pigeon. I mean, we expect that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that players can have off days. Not saying they can have better days than they're used to. But these guys, you've talked about it. They're some of the best squads in this CRL space. Like, they are expected to be able to play like that. And of course, they are. I mean, Bala's been great over on UNCC. Lazy also has had a couple of good looks. Knight was a star player last game. So it's just insane that we have 6 of some of the best players. But when you got Pigeon and you got open space, the equation equals a goal.
Another high flip reset play. This time he uses his flip a bit earlier, but nails the shot top left. And Pigeon has fully announced himself upon this series. Huge 2 goals in the opening minute of Game 3, and I'm curious to see if these Niners have any kind of answer for the star-studded, high-flying bird that has descended upon Sovereign Height. That's a nice start. Great save on Gad's opportunity, but Pigeon has boost and another flip off the ceiling, and a whole lot of space to work.
Ooh. Good on Lazy to get that last touch as well. Knight has to go in there quickly. Bala stuck with a little bit of boost here, but also trying to help the teammates recollect. Now they get to march down the pitch. Knight is looking for one. Good bump right there. Lazy to try to help. Back wall we go. Gad is up to defend. Ability is also looking for a chance to shine, and finally the clear goes the other way. The Dukes get a chance to march down the pitch. 1, 2, almost 3, but Lazy with the save.
Now Bala has boost, and he's a player that can, similar to Pigeon, step up and take lobbies over, but has been fairly quiet. Hasn't done much with the space he's been granted offensively, and right there didn't have an angle on the ball, so play abilities touch, and off the ceiling, it's not a perfect ball from Ball at the midfield line, but it's still impressive he got back to that.
Absolutely. Pre-jumped the ceiling. Was able to read that play. Pigeon is going to try to flick over Knight. Gets the save. Bala looking for the bump. Lazy, no boost. Knight as well, having to retreat. It's going to be an awkward position, but a good touch right there. Only goes as far as Pigeon. Again, the player you're kind of afraid to hand that ball over to in the moment, but who's your other option? Gad and Ability, 2 other players who can also score on you just as easily. I mean, God, these guys they're a machine. When they are in the zone, when they found their lane, they are an absolute well-oiled machine.
Ooh, Lazy. Got through Pigeon, but not Gad, and now Pigeon's just refueled in the corner. He got in store for us again. It's a play through Bala, but only a pass to Gad, who had full trust in Pigeon right there down the sideline, and JMU will keep the possession numbers ticking for themselves. On the orange side of the pitch, where's the third man for UNCC? Not needed there. Lazy was slow to rotate back, didn't have a whole lot of boost, but Knight did well. And there's Bala. He's announcing his presence with a redirect to the midfield line, but no rebound opportunity there. UNCC come up short.
It's tough, too. You'd see the lane that they were going for. Bala almost nailing that shot. It's a little high.
Wow.
High! If you're sleeping on you, put them to bed and say good night.
That's impressive reaction time out of Knight. I mean, I'm sure he's expecting some kind of pass out of the corner. You just got to have trust in Bala to do that for you, but that was a missile sent at Knight's Fennec, and he somehow slotted a shot underneath the crossbar and has given UNCC life here in Game 3. And Bala, with full boost and ability to get through, will succeed in that mission, but yeah, the next man up for JMU does well to effectively layer the JMU defense.
Ooh, Knight just passes over to Ability. It's going to be tough out of the corner. Good plays here for UNCC. Has Pigeon to beat with low boost as well. Knight collects in the corner. Bala just needs a flick over. Couldn't get a hand on the ball. So that offensive stint's just going to slow down for a moment. Maybe Bala can help Lazy out. Into the corner they go. Looking for a second touch. Couldn't get the pinch. Pigeon gets the chance to go out. Loses the reset opportunity. Lazy just throws it up to the back wall. The crossbar has absolutely helped, but only for 3 seconds.
Pure chaos there for UNCC. Lazy. That's a decent read. I think he gets pretty close to saving that on the initial shot, but you got to have a back line beneath you if you're not going to keep control of the ball on your goal line. There was nothing left of the UNCC defense. Pigeon cleans up, 3-1 JMU, and even though UNCC showed some life about a minute or so ago, they're still in a position here to make a 2-goal comeback in the final 45, and while they are capable, it's not going to be easy.
No. This is going to be the toughest task of the evening. And to think, too, remember, the longer this series goes on, the winner of this has some more games to play.
Yep.
They've got another best-of-7 to rock this evening immediately after this, so call it scrims, call it show matches, call it what you will. I think this right here, whoever plays these next 2 matches is getting the best practice of the night.
Definitely, and early in the season, that's why I host these show matches. I want to give teams practice if they're willing to display their practices on stream. That's a wonderful shot from Bala. Display of brilliance there, but somehow it is stopped by JMU, and what could have been an interesting 0-second play in Game 3 is just meaningless. James Madison win Game 3 and take their first series lead.
They do, and again, kind of what we expected here. I think this is more along the lines of what I expected to see out of these squads. JMU a little bit ahead, but obviously UNCC not far behind in the race. I'd say currently, when they're both playing at peak form, UNCC's maybe half a step behind, and that's just trying to call it what it is.
And for UNCC, they now have to step up, because this is a team, if they really want to elevate themselves, they were always around the top 48 mark in the fall. And I mean, James Madison's a team you're going to have to contest in those power rankings discussions. And at the moment, they look down. They look a little bit less mechanical, but the margins are slim. And a reset, maybe a mentality switch, a strategy change can get you back into this, but you have to start with limiting Pigeon's space in the air, and that's not easy to do. It comes with managing the boost game, making sure you're rotating back quickly to contest Pigeon, but he has announced himself as the best player on the pitch. You've got to shut him down somehow.
100%, you do got to get him shut down. And again, this squad in UNCC, they absolutely can do it. Bala almost gets a nice double on kickoff. Lazy, good 50 to the corner. Knight's going to try to continue the offense here, but Ability is going to try to get past one. Can't. It's up to Gad. Low boost, going for the possession play, but Pigeon says, get off the ball if you're not going to do anything with it. Let me have it, sir. But it doesn't go very far. It still stays trapped kind of at the box. Here, the final third of JMU.
Knight and Bala were on the same page right there. It's a decent play by Bala. Again, being aggressive and pre-jumping a potential clear from JMU very early, but Knight wasn't ready for it. And so Pigeon in a 1v1 versus Lazy. He goes low on the 50, but so too did Lazy. That's a brilliant read, and well, that's a start in shutting down Pigeon. Make sure his solo plays don't have any potency.
Absolutely. Lazy is awkward, but is able to defend Ability. I think it was who had more of a dream there, seeing as both of them didn't have any boost. Knight with the clear to the corner, has Gad to beat down low. Someone needs to go here, but 3 on the side of the Dukes jump, and they are able to get it away. But it's still UNCC putting on a lot of display of offense. Ability couldn't get that touch. The possession will just slot right back over to UNCC. Knight to the backboard, Pigeon to defend, but it's Bala down low because Pigeon couldn't get the touch he was looking for.
I mean, I can respect the pre-jump from Knight right there. Trust Lazy to get it to him. They had space in the midfield, but Bala betting on Pigeon missing on the backboard is really gutsy. I mean, that's not a play that I would bet actual money on, but positioning, I suppose, sure, gotta take some risks here if you're UNCC to win this thing, and Bala wins on that exchange. This one, he will lose out. Pigeon gets some revenge by way of sending Ball to the nether realm for a couple of seconds and nearly scoring on the UNCC net, but he sets up the eventual tie goal.
Man, you saw the defense happening. You just had hope if you're a UNCC fan. You're thinking to yourself, well, we've got one player racing out of the net, but it's just not enough. James Madison put one on the board to tie us up before 2 minutes have elapsed.
He's going to have 100 boost here, but concedes control of the ball to Gad. Easy out to the side. Had Bala in tow, but it's eventually Knight that steps up and takes control of the play. Bala off the corner wall. Was trying to put a shot on target right there from a creative angle, but sent it a bit too far out to the side, and now has to maintain possession for the Niners. And you can see it, UNCC are trying to get creative to limit JMU's ability defensively to read them, and in turn limit the counterattack ability of JMU a bit, but this is scary, and it results in a lead now for JMU.
Pigeon not only almost got the pre-jump early on, but then was able to just turn and shoot at a moment's notice right there on the goal line, a literal 180 to put them in the lead.
Fair enough. You got to expect the unexpected in the quick pivot of Pigeon right there. Bala just stole 100 from Gad, and actually that's huge because Gad's boostless had to go to the corner to pick up the 100, and a simple kickoff boost grab gives UNCC a goal thanks to abilities misread.
Just right off kickoff too, and again, expected from UNCC. Like they have answered back almost every single time throughout this series. This is just typical. It's literally typical. I do not know what to expect off kickoff at the time, but whoever gets possession most of the time scores immediately, and Lazy, the perfect cheat to do so to put him in the lead.
Well, it's a simple kickoff for UNCC, just an aggressive cheat, and it's placed perfectly around the cheater of JMU, and it's space to beat the guy getting boost back to net. And that second UNCC goal was a gift from ability to them to tie the game up, but that one was fully earned. Nicely done, and half a game left in game 4, but still good position for UNCC barring that. And that was not a good position for Bala, but he did phenomenally in it.
He absolutely did. Now they've got to play a little, I guess they're going to have to play a little more aggressive than they have if they want to take another game here. Pigeon off the back line. Knight to look to continue the offense. I think that the way it goes right now, I still have felt throughout this entire time, Bala literally is a baller. You see the way he dribbled the ball?
He's dribbling, yeah.
All right, yeah, I lost my whole train of thought because Bala was dribbling.
Hey, we'll pick it back up. Lazy's picked the play up from the midfield line and ability. Nice stop there in transition. Pigeon beats one player from UNCC, but not everybody there. And that's a win for the Niners. They'll keep their 1-goal lead intact. 90 seconds left now, and Pigeon, every time he goes for something out of the ordinary, you hold your breath, but they didn't have the boost for it.
I'm with you. Every time Pigeon goes up, you in the middle of commentating, we'll have a handoff, and I'm just like, you know, get that feeling of what's he gonna do? Where's it gonna go? Good bump right there. The ball still stays moving towards the back line. I didn't know where Lazy was, but made himself known from the net. They've got to play the possession game. They've been so good at it this entire time this evening, and as soon as I say that, of course, I get proven wrong.
Pigeon went for the bump right there, and Knight still gets a great block on the goal line. UNCC are weathering the JMU storm. Pigeon's boostless until he grabs the 100 in the corner, but sacrificed the ball for that. And yet, JMU still get a clear with 40 seconds now. Bala in control off his back wall is slowed by Pigeon. Right there, can't get a full read immediately on the play, but we're going laterally. Not north and south, just east and west, and that'll favor UNCC.
It absolutely will. Again, the possession game has been in favor here of the Niners. If they can continue to shut down Pigeon, that call you made at the beginning of game number 3, that's a wide open field to play with. Lazy just needs a couple extra. Pigeon is able to race down and get it. They may get one for the road here, but with 5 seconds left, I think they've tied us up in the series.
Hold on, 0-second play inbound. Gad to ability. Ability didn't make contact, but there were still, I believe, 2 blue cars out in front of that potential shot. So at the very least, the ball stays up. We keep playing on 0 seconds. I don't think they would have scored right there. But either way, UNCC win game 4, and that was hard fought, but exactly what they had to do to take a series, or take a game win against JMU, who have upgraded as the series has gone on.
Truly. I think upgraded is the best way to put it. They have stepped up completely, but I think that UNCC has also stepped up massively. Their possession game is just elevated here in that game number 4. We're on to game number 5. The most pivotal game now for either of these squads to win this show match. And I don't know. The pendulum hasn't swung for either side for me right now. I think it's fallen right back in the middle with this evened up score line. Hopefully we can see a team make a big show-out performance. Ability might be the one, but not enough juice in the tank to make a meaningful shot out of it.
The only concern I've got for UNCC right now is that last game was won purely off of individual brilliance at times, where it was one player stepping up, whether that was on the goal line or in the offensive zone, to make a big play, gain a lot of space in bulk for their team, whereas JMU, I think, can just play their baseline game and beat UNCC at the moment. And with misses like that, that's especially the case because UNCC are trying to give JMU a free goal, but that's good goal line defense again. Niners better shape up here.
I absolutely agree. They probably need to do a big step up if they want to look a little better in this series, but who has truly been the difference maker so far? I've been kind of racking my brain. Obviously, it's easy to say Pigeon on the side of JMU, but you've got 5 other people on the pitch. Who has stood out to you the most out of everybody?
I mean, Bala's definitely the Pigeon counterpart at times. Lazy and Knights carry a lot of chemistry from their years playing together at UNCC. So, I mean, if Pigeon's your standout player that's been negated from this discussion, I think Bala is definitely the guy to really step up for UNCC. He's the reason they're in top 48 contention and have been since August when he joined this roster. So I think he's the guy to step up individually even more, but I think Gad on the side of JMU has been a great counterpart for Pigeon, and there he is making a big stop on the goal line to give Pigeon now some space in transition.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Somber made a comment in chat earlier about how Pigeon allows Gad to not have to worry so much offensively, and I think that's done wonders for JMU because Gad is such a pivotal player. Now, with your comment about Bala, I mean, we just saw Bala almost nail an amazing redirect right there at the close post. It's been the best couple of looks that these teams have seen so far, and it's starting to feel like we may actually have reached a true stalemate between both these squads in this 5-game series because neither of them are overextending. If you're watching closely, the nuance will tell you that they're just getting what they can while they can, and then they get out and have to retreat.
This is dangerous, though. It's an open backboard, and Gad and Ability had both either crept up and too far back to take an immediate shot and capitalize on that. So no goal there, and despite the decent look for JMU, but that's a goal. Open net found. Bala not back in time. Gad just snipes the net from the midfield line.
Oh, give me 1 second, Bepic. Let me see if I can fix my mic.
Okay, no problem. Oh no, that's OBS. That's an OBS thing. It's not you. For those that are new to watching Tuesday Night Lights, the staticky mic thing is something that happens from time to time. It's just an OBS thing where it'll ruin an audio source for the moment. Should be fixed now. You should be all good.
Okay, I just want to be sure, man. Don't want to bring down the level of stream by any means. Oh my gosh, 3 members commit off the back wall one more time. You talked about it. You talked about it. Every time it's happened, that is such a wide open backboard. It spells nothing but trouble.
And all 3 JMU players flying off the goal line right there, not making contact, I think sums up that exchange as all hands were on deck to try and stop UNCC, but opening was secured and goal has been found to tie us up. 100 seconds to go, just about. Bala has stopped Pigeon individually right there. That was a 1v1 between the 2 high flyers on both sides, and it comes up UNCC right then.
UNCC gets that moment. They are able to push it back into the blue, but with resources a bit low, I mean, only 2 players have boost. Hang on, Lazy was about to make me eat my words right there for being anything but that as they were quick to the play. Pigeon blazes off the back wall. That's a huge demo. Gad just needs the laser sight on the corner. Shoots, fires, scores.
Bad touch there from Knights. He had help, but I don't know if it wasn't calmed in time or just didn't react in time, but that gave Gad space to shoot, and that ball was placed phenomenally because there were still 2 players on the goal line that could make a play on his shot, but he found the ball-sized gap on the UNCC goal line, and now JMU lead with a minute left, and UNCC have to fight from behind once more.
And they absolutely do, and they're looking a little scrambled. I don't know if you saw that defense just a second ago, but they do not look like a complete team, but they somehow get granted favor by the Rocket League gods. What?
I don't know. That's panicky offense into a frenetic counterattack, but somehow, I think it was Lazy that connected on the bump to Gad. Maybe it was Knight there on the near side, one of those two. But he collided with Gad, prevented him from coming with a touch on the near side for JMU, and then right there on the goal line, ready for the finish. UNCC have put together an insane comeback here, and now lead out of nowhere.
Fortune shines for the Niners currently, because you couldn't have told me that 4 minutes ago this UNCC squad was going to be in the lead. I'm not saying that they haven't been playing up to par or up to snuff, but it looked a little rough there for a second. You know what I'm saying? They're about to get another one here. Wow. They do. Lazy snipes the opposite corner through three. Two of the opposing players and one of his own. He finds the second goal to put them up by 2.
I mean, the James Madison goal line can't read UNCC right now. It's not that UNCC are just using good challenges or extended pressure to score goals. They're just playing unexpected Rocket League. And Bala will follow up a couple or several goal run with a big save there to keep Game 5 in the favor of the Niners. JMU, 2 goals down, 20 seconds left. Big moment for them to step up. We'll see what they've got for us.
Oh no, Gad probably didn't want that double touch. It killed all the momentum of the ball ability. Back to the corner, Pigeon grabs some boost. Maybe he gets a second to get a 0-second goal here, but it's cut off by Lazy. Shot down, Pigeon goes and puts enough juice on the shot to close it by 1. Don't call it. You can't call it. There's time on the clock.
Everybody keep your horses stationary and your eyes in the general direction of Pigeon. Let's see what happens here off kickoff, though. His ability going for it. Pigeon out to the right. It wasn't far enough out there to get the ball immediately to him, and he's beaten by UNCC there at the midfield line. There was a kickoff strat there for JMU, but it didn't pan out. UNCC secure Game 5.
They take the swing game, if you will. In a best-of-7 series, Game 3 and Game 5, those are the games that really do matter. And especially when you've tied it up this close to the end of the series, this is what's going to be important. You've got UNCC in the lead. They've got to get one more to secure a second whole set of games with a new opponent in UFC.
And I think a lot of people came into this series favoring James Madison, and that makes sense considering one of their players was a series away from the RLCS Top 16 this past weekend. But UNCC, they have showed what they can do individually on the ball, and this is going to be a fun little rivalry popping up this season. In the CCS, in the SEL, just across CRL and in Opens, I mean, this is such an even match at the moment. This feels like the prime time series in Tuesday Night Lights, and then the winner of this gets to play again. Exactly.
And I'm excited to watch from the sidelines to see USC. I got a chance to see them quite often this past winter, even on your own channel, including the other leagues you mentioned. So I'm hoping to see them step up as well. They were a bit rising towards the end of the semester last season, so maybe they show us some good things. But for now, we can only look towards the future as we've got another match on our hands. Currently, one person in the lead, looking to close it out in the side of UNCC. The Dukes needing to step up to the task.
A whole lot of boosts on UNCC's side, but they still find a way to escape the defensive zone. And again, it just doesn't feel like JMU can read what the 3 orange cars on the pitch are trying to do, because I'm not sure at times UNCC knows what they're trying to do. And that sort of wrench can disrupt a well-oiled machine like JMU was looking like earlier in the set. So I want to see what they do to try and limit that. If they stay in the face of UNC Charlotte, or what the plan is for Gad and his boys. But minute in, no goals so far, and Pigeon's got room to work.
Ooh, goes low, but Knight is not going to let the ball drop down that quickly. Pigeon tries to get a quick cut on Bala. But like you said, that counterpart that Bala likes to be, he's just there. He knows what Pigeon is looking for. He's wondering what he's going to go for next, and he has to just get one good touch. And McGad is going to put one far down and in to set us off for game number 6.
Not a good touch from Bala. Had to keep that ball in the corner as Lazy and Knight were prepared to receive that pass, but Gad certainly was. Again, well-placed shot, bar down and in. And that's what James Madison need here. The opening goal to set the tone, give them a little boost, but no lead is safe, it feels like, in this series, so they better keep their feet on the gas.
No lead is safe whatsoever. That is the best phrase I could look to hear right now, MrBepic. Because it is the truth. Nothing is guaranteed in a game like this. Pigeon, he switched into the Gentlemates decal. I am afraid.
Well, big pinch though. Pigeon in that Gentlemates decal. We first on the scene to disrupt whatever ball is trying in the corner. So there you go. Pink high flying Fennec will slow down UNCC and kickstart another JMU offensive. Gad into the corner. I think he got a flip there, and he will use that to center the ball. Lazy. Got the ball right on his car, but that's what I'll take a challenge and give himself room to work in transition. Balla up front to shoot, but I think Lazy's flip propelled that ball a little bit too far forward for UNCC to really make use of it.
You know, it's funny. We talk about the counterparts, and Balla is rocking the French Fennec. We've got Pigeon rocking the Gentlemates, and Bala is literally rocking the French Fennec. They couldn't be more in sync with one another right now. Look at that, almost getting the goal right there. Pigeon will have to defend, Knight to keep it alive. Gad to put this one out. Pigeon just needs one touch, but Lazy is exactly in the perfect position to defend it away. But you got to delete Pigeon. You want him to stop producing plays, stop making opportunities, take him off the pitch.
Is tremendous, though. Great read by Lazy. JMU still lead in hand, but UNCC every counterattack are getting close to finding an equalizer, but Lazy won't commit there. A product of the respect JMU's counterattack game commands, and it works out, plays the ball out to the side, and now Balla's got room. Pigeon's just backflipped, so JMU retreat for the moment.
Retreating was the best idea. Obviously, you guys aren't in the best of positions. Knight is having to defend that one well from ability. Gad is the third here as Ability and Pigeon are trying to reset, regain on their offensive push. Ability pushing this one to the back wall. Pigeon is going to have to lay off. Balla with possession. Gad up early, but you sold your hand way too quickly. That could have been dangerous if you didn't have the boost to get down.
Ball's got boost now, but he's got to use it to rotate back. Stole the corner, but JMU do the same. Ability grabs the UNCC 100. Now Balla beats Gad there. Contested by Ability. Fueled up boost tank is bested. Pigeon has to make a tough read, but of course he's up to snuff. Ability downfield, trying to cherry pick a shot, but has to be content with a corner bounce here that doesn't actually do anything for JMU. In fact, it grants an opportunity for the Niners with Balla in the corner. Fueled up boost tank, but no one really to pass to in a face full of JMU defense.
Absolutely, but collected 200% right there. 200 boost, both the corners, and it deletes the side of JMU's ability to actually produce a meaningful offensive play. Knight and Balla, I guess they're going to leave it to Lazy. Gad will get a touch. Pigeon looking for the clear. Uh-oh, that's not what you want. They have to play a little bit of panicky defense as they hand possession over one more time. Balla gets a good 50 over Ability, but Pigeon on the back line, able to send this one out, has room to work with. The thing that you don't want him to have, almost gets a good double flip reset, but hands it over one more time.
Oh, Knight, an opening. He gets it clear. Ability's being tracked by Balla, who elects to play the ball instead of the demo. 10 seconds now. UNCC have been pushing hard for their one goal this game. Have come up short each and every opportunity. On 0 seconds, so they'll have to score their equalizer, but Ability is on this. He should easily be able to ground the ball and secure JMU Game 6, sending us to Game 7. So Pigeon, 100 in hand, will do the honors at the end of things. A second consecutive Game 7 here on Tuesday Night Lights. Everybody's delivering tonight.
Oh, 100%. This means that, sorry, USC, you will be going to Game 7. I'm letting
Apparently.
you know now.
They'd be happy with that, I'm sure, though.
Oh, I'm sure they will too, especially against, this is your opponent. This is who you have to look to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No offense to USC. I'm not saying anything to you about USC. It's just a tough opponent.
No matter who they play in their next series, I don't think they're the favorites here. They're definitely playing up to competition, and I think they know that as well. They're a realistic team, and I think it's a good way to start your season off. In all honesty, I think playing up just from the get-go to get up to speed that way is the way to go, because we talked about it. South Carolina is going to have to get through probably one or two of the teams you see on the screen right now if they want to make it to the SCL LAN at the end of the season, and more than likely CCS at the end of the season. So, look, whoever does come out victorious from this series will be a good test for South Carolina. But Taquito, I don't think either of us have any idea who that team actually will be.
No. I couldn't roll the dice and guess good enough, but Ability apparently knows exactly where to look as they get the save right off the crossbar. We're starting off game number 7 hot.
Impressive block, and that counters what I'm sure UNCC were trying to do after JMU scored first in the last game, set that tone. They don't allow UNCC to do the same thing in the first couple of seconds of game 7. So big goal line stand leads to an opportunity now that Lazy's just missed a chance to save, though won't result in an immediate rebound. Gad with the shot on. Lazy this time does make contact.
Oh, Ability just has so much time to grab boost, is able to get the better of that one, but Gad, no boost in the final third right there at the back line. Needs to collect something, needs some help from the teammates. Does get Pigeon's grace to keep the ball in the mid right there, but that backflip is going to do no good. Lazy and Gad almost link up at a rule 1. They're going to leave that alone. Gad has a chance to sneak one through, but Lazy ain't going to let it happen.
Nice pass, Ability linked up with Pigeon, but shot went too high. A lot of contact made on it, but that one's underneath the crossbar, and I gotta watch how this went in again. Pigeon turns around in the corner and just kind of pickpockets Knight right there. I guess Knight didn't know where he was.
No, I think with ball cam on, probably trying to find the best way to hit that ball is what I'm assuming. It's not exactly the fortune in your favor Ability. Looking for Gad in the corner. That's a great bump on Knight. Bala isn't able to get the best of touches. Lazy with a big clear leaves Pigeon the whole field to play with and plenty of boost, but he uses so much of it just to push it to the mid. Favorable 50 from Ability. Gad is going to go ahead and go up here. Backboard touch. Pigeon to shoot. No one to score, but that offense is looking electric on the side of JMU.
Oh yeah, they need to be stopped by UNCC. Only up a goal at the moment, but the second one feels imminent, especially with that man on the ball. Got past one, but not Bala, and now going up with Bala, result in a free challenge for Ability. Gad, 100 boost, goes to the ceiling, and UNCC are playing decent defense at the moment, but just one moment, one miss can force all of that to crumble, and JMU have now taken a 2-goal lead.
That miss from Knight was massive. Also, Lazy, who decided to go into the net, was looking, or I guess was reversed, possibly going for a squish here or something. I couldn't really tell. But that was the worst possible position for 2 defenders to be in, counting the third that fell off the wall. But it doesn't matter, because Knight cuts the mid and scores the first goal for UNCC.
Oh, man, if you are JMU this series, if they don't win it, they're going to feel so hard done by the kickoffs. That's another one that doesn't go their way. It's just a perfect challenge out of UNCC at the sideline to catch out the rest of JMU, but Pigeon's trying to return the favor. Ability on target, but Lazy is in the shooting lane. Pigeon, no double allowed right there. That's a big shutdown. Now it's off to the races. Knight into the into the JMU corner, faking contact, but Pigeon is there for the touch.
Again, like you said, it's off to the races. I look up and I'm just like, man, oh man, what is going to happen? But Pigeon just fakes the counter on the transition and is going to seal one home. That is yet another goal to the side of JMU. This game 7, it looks like that's where they want to live. This is the pressure that they're ready for.
And UNCC had done a great job until that point to shut Pigeon's solo plays down. And in the worst possible moment, he's granted a bit of room, and that poor goal line defense of UNCC is not going to stand too much of a chance. 2 minutes left, down a pair of goals. Let's see if JMU can hold UNCC at this deficit. Balla trying to counter the lead that JMU have claimed, but that's a monstrous challenge out of Pigeon.
Monstrous challenge indeed, but you talk about that lead needing to be reclaimed. I mean, we're talking about UNCC, Bepic. We're talking about that boy, Paula, out the corner. Favorable bounce, beautiful touch, goal over, lead cut down to 1. They're still in it, baby.
Are you kidding me? All right, still in it indeed. Goal down, minute 50. Balla came to play, that's for sure. Pigeon the same, and this time around, he's slowed. And now Balla has a lot of boost. He's got Knight up in front, who will go up with him, but won't bump Gad, and Balla won't score. Gad will clear the zone, and Balla rotates back quickly, thanks to Pigeon blowing him up in the offensive half. Knights can't keep with that. Dangerous. JMU have a chance to just dash the dreams of UNCC again, but can't win on the goal line.
They can't. That's a good demo there from Balla, especially on Pigeon, but you left the ball over to Gad, a player who's just as good at the possession game. Pigeon, no boost, needs ability to help. Balla just feeds it right back down. Ability does not have the control to get back to the favorable position. Gad looking for a pass out, but doesn't get it. Balla now in the mid, trying to push forward. They are looking to tie the game. That demo was favorable, but Knight couldn't clear the lane in time.
Now he'll have to turn. Balla is to his left, and we'll wait for that passing option to develop, but Balla bailed out before the ball got to him, so Pigeon and ability clear for JMU. Going backboard will test Lazy's ability to read that ball, and he does well, but the rest of UNCC can't follow up. 4-2 ability finds insurance for JMU.
I wish I could say that Balla could have made a better decision, but I don't even know if keeping it low there was the right thing to do. You had no opportunity to do anything other than cross your goal line, which is just unfortunate. But what possession do you play there, or do you just give the ball over to Pigeon again? That's what you do. I think the nail has been driven so deeply into this coffin, my friend. JMU look primed to go into the next series.
They definitely do, and South Carolina's going to have a handful to deal with. That Gad-Pigeon combo is looking deadly, and UNCC, try as they might, put up a great fight, but unfortunately could not do enough defensively to stop James Madison in Game 7. 5 goals conceded, and we'll have a go at this 3-goal comeback, but it might be too little too late. Knights has to really put a shot on right there, but cannot get around it. And JMU were tested there, Taquito. But what a treat of a series they come out on top of.
And it's not even like it wasn't hard fought. We can't sit here and pretend that it wasn't just beautiful. Oh, Niners, not like that. At least let the ball hit the ground. Like I said, you can't say that it wasn't hard fought. I mean, James Madison had to go the distance to beat this squad. If that isn't a testament to how good UNC Charlotte is, then I don't know what it is.
Well, either way, great series, great pair of series to start off Tuesday Night Lights, and we've got James Madison sticking around to play South Carolina in our next show match of the evening. Big underdog story for the Gamecocks there, but Taquito, I appreciate you joining me, and I've got to throw to a quick break here, so keep your last words brief, but any final thoughts?
For anybody who doubted that UNCC would take a game there, proof is in the pudding, and that's all I'm going to say.
All right, GG's in the second show match of TNL1, but short break here as I get my graphics prepared for South Carolina versus James Madison, and we will see you on the other side of a quick break.